Hi, so I'm trying to build an aquaponics system, right? So there's two tubs, one for the grow bed and one for the fish tank for the aquarium. So this is around 81 liters and this is around 110 liters. And what I meant to do is create a circle of water from the aquarium through this hole over here into the grow bed, where then it waters the plants, then out through this hole over here, then back into the aquarium. So I've already drilled out these two holes, from these pieces. And what I'm going to do is attach the PVC pipe connector, which is over here, through this hole. And this elbow is going to be used to transfer the water from the grow bed into the tank. So first, just connect it. Okay, so we have an O-ring here to make it a little bit more waterproof here, and put that on either side of the screwing. So one is already connected to that screw, and one is going to be connected to this side, and then just screw it together. I screw it really tight because it should be as waterproof as possible. Right, so what now we have to do is make a bell siphon. So bell siphon basically it empties the water in the grow bed into the aquarium at regular intervals once it reaches a certain height to make sure the roots of the plants get air and oxygen so they don't rot. So what we need to do first is get a 15 centimeter pipe like this and put it into here, push it in tight, make sure it's waterproof. And this is the height of the water that will be allowed before it starts draining out of the grow bed. Then we have another PVC pipe that goes over it and sits loosely over it. That's a little bit taller, so it's not exactly the same height, maybe around 2 centimeters taller. And it's basically just a filter to remove any gravel or anything. And then we have a bigger PVC pipe that goes on top of this second PVC pipe. And this is just another filter that removes the gravel or whatever growing medium you have in your grow bed. So for the smaller filter, you can drill slightly bigger holes like you've done here, and nothing on the top to create the vacuum. And just like sit it on top. It doesn't have to sit very firm. It can be quite loose. Just sit it down there. And for the larger filter, drill slightly smaller holes to ensure that really none of the growing medium gets into the thing, and one hole at the top. And just sit on top of there. And that's the bell siphon complete. Alright, so from the elbow at the bottom, we're going to attach just more PVC piping, so I'll stick in there, so that, and this obviously depends on whatever you're trying to make your system to be, where your aquarium is placed in relation to your grow bed. And then we have this, so we decided to put it a little bit off to the left, and therefore our elbow is going to be pointing towards the left, and this is going to be coming out the left. So then we have this T, and this T is not an elbow because the T is better at aerating the water for the fish, which is why we don't need an air pump inside the aquarium to get the air bubbles for the fish to breathe. So we just put a T here, and while the water is flowing down, it'll just aerate itself. And after that, we have another pipe to go, and we plan to make it go underneath the water level so that it doesn't create as much noise as it would if it was splashing into the water. So this is the water pump that we decided to use. It's here you can see Ebang. The maximum height is 1.6 meters. The wattage is 15 watts, and the maximum quantity is 800 liters per hour. And it's adjustable flow, so you can just change how much water you want to flow through this little dial here. And the hose that we've attached is 12 millimeters from 16 millimeters, and it's 1.5 meters, so we can connect it. But really, it depends on whatever the outlet on your water pump is. That's the hose that you need to use. We went to a hardware store. We bought one of these, which connects into our hose, and then we went to a gardening store and bought some of these, which are hose connectors. But we bought them because they fit into the hole that we drilled here, 25 millimeter hole, and they fit quite well into this hole. Like they fit quite tightly, so that it'll be quite waterproof if the water ever reaches that level. This is just another connector which makes the screwing a little bit bigger so that it fits into this system, so it all just screws together and it makes one sort of connected system which fits into that hole and connects the hose from the aquarium into the tank, the grow bed tank here. So just put this in here and then just tighten it and make sure it's tight, firm, waterproof as much as possible, and the hose will connect into here. Alright, so the hose here just connects into this golden thing, which again you have to buy depending on whatever hose you get, which depends on your water pump. So just make sure that all three are compatible with each other, and it just goes in here. And so you just fill up the aquarium, and then the water pump will pump water into the grow bed, and then it'll empty out in the siphon, and it'll all be connected with pipes. So now we fill up the aquarium with water, and we're just about to see if the whole hose system works. So just turn off the water pump. It doesn't seem to be leaking on the right. We use some Teflon tape to cover up the threads, and we wait for it to fill up. So it's almost reached the level of the bell siphon. You can see it's about to like start flowing. So basically, it's just about to start siphoning very soon. It's now the bell siphon has started siphoning the water off. As you can see, it's doing quite well. You know, we've filled it up, and it's gone past the limit, which is actually the beauty of a bell siphon. It goes past the 15 centimeter mark. It'll drain until the bottom of the tank. So now we've filled up approximately one large bag of leca balls, which is our growing medium, into the grow bed. The bag is around this size, and this is how much we filled. We still have a little bit left, but it'll be fine. So now that we filled it up, I've chosen to have these little cups, fill them up with leca balls like this, just a few more, and then place a seedling or just a seed inside, you know, just to make sure that the roots are embedded in the water, and then just dig them into the growing bed. So now we bought some fish for the aquaponics system, 6 goldfish and a tigerfish. Just make sure that when you ask the person who you're buying the fish from that the 2 species or however many species you're going to get, they're compatible, like they don't eat each other. For example, certain species of fish will eat goldfish or guppies or tilapia or tigerfish if you put them together in the same tank. So just make sure that whatever you're buying can live together and, you know, is good for aquaponics as well. They have to have a lot of poo and they have to be compatible.